Hello everyone and welcome back to the Steemtrail Gaming Podcast. Today is the 26th of November. My name is Kralizec. I will be one of your hosts for the evening. The second host is TygerGamer. Hello TygerGamer, how are you?
Great, how about you?
I'm doing pretty well, man. As I'm just so tired of talking about EA.
I bet.
But we're going to talk about EA.
Yep.
But you know, before we get into that, let me ask you the important question of the week.
Yes.
What have you been playing this week?
I only got to play one game this week due to it being a Thanksgiving over here in the States.
Mm-hmm.
And that is Battleship Brigade for the Switch and PC.
I actually saw a review of that, but first I would like to hear your opinion of it.
It's like, the best way I can describe it for anyone that doesn't know is it's like a mix between, those cook-off shows. It's a mix between that, Bejeweled, or Candy Crush, what do you want to call it, and any RPG game where you have to go and hunt monsters.
As I think that's a good description. Though I wouldn't say RPG, I would say brawler myself personally.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
It seemed freakishly complicated to a degree because I haven't played it myself. I only watched a review, and even though... So I saw a review by Total Biscuit.
Yeah.
I really tried to understand like what's happening on the screen. Half the time I was like, what the fuck is going on? Like when he was brawling, that was simple. Like, yeah, he's smashing monsters. Obviously. Yeah. And I even got the part about Link 3, but I didn't really get the ingredients part.
What did you not get about it?
It just seemed, I don't know, like, so what exactly makes like for example, I didn't understand how the ingredients level up really.
Okay, so in order to like level up your ingredients, like make it even better, is just like get like the like, okay, let's say like there are 3 elements in the game. You have water, earth, and fire. And like the fire is like the red orbs, the water is the blue orbs that you match up, and the earth is the green orbs. Well, in order to level those up, you gotta match 3 green ones. Like let's say you want to level up earth even more. You gotta match 3 green to make it go to the next tier of the earth gem. And then you gotta match 3 level 2 gems together, 3 earth level 2 gems together, and that'll level up even more, and so forth. You get what I'm saying there?
Okay, that was the part I got, I think. But like sometimes his ingredients leveled up to a level 2, sometimes they leveled up to a level 3. Like that was like confusing why that happened.
I think I've only played like 2 hours of it so far, but I think that's due to like what kind of equipment you have equipped.
Okay, so there's even equipment. I think I maybe misheard that one or didn't notice it because I was doing other shit while watching the review.
Yeah.
Okay. Would you recommend it?
Yes. It costs $20, but it's a good game. So.
Does it costs $20 on the Switch, right?
Yeah, and on Steam.
Oh yeah, I know. I checked like so. There's also a version with the soundtrack for $26.98. Would you recommend the soundtrack?
I have not gotten through the entire game yet, so hard to say yet.
Okay. But another thing that seemed really confusing to me that I really understand that this is very heavily a matter of personal opinion, but the graphics didn't really seem to fit the theme for me personally. But otherwise, it looked like an interesting combination of games. Such a weird one, as well.
Yeah. Like, that's why I picked it up.
But why would you combine a brawler and a match 3 game?
Yeah, really.
It's like those are like almost opposite ends of the spectrum.
Yeah.
Like on one hand, I want to fight shit, and on the other hand, I want to use logic.
Yeah.
It was just ridiculously confusing to me, to be honest.
Yeah, it seemed confusing to me at first too when I was watching videos of it. But once you actually get into the game, stuff becomes more clear to you.
Okay, well, that's probably good, but that's usually the case with games these days.
Yeah.
So you say you've been playing only that. I have been playing 2 games this week. One of them I've been playing very extensively. That's Battlerite. So let me put on a little bit of a video for that. So, I don't know. Do you know Battlerite?
Yeah, I think you talked about it last time, didn't you?
Yeah, I did. I've been playing it like here and there. This week I've been playing it a lot. Because, man, I got really into it this week. There's a lot more people and the queue time's gotten really quicker.
Okay.
But it's like, seriously, it's the only MOBA on the market, the only real MOBA. Because you know, it's a multiplayer online battle arena, and this is the only one that's literally arena. All the else is like more of a, I don't know how to even call it. It's not even like an arena, more like a giant space that you're battling for. Arena, when I hear arena, I imagine something small.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's heaps of fun. It's free to play, though obviously there are microtransactions in the game.
Yeah.
But
now that right there, I'm okay with, because you know it's free to play, and the developers they need support somehow, you know.
And the microtransactions are even done fairly. They're done in the pretty much standard way these days. Like either they're cosmetics, or you can unlock heroes if you want to. But there's always a free rotation of heroes.
Yeah.
So with that, I'm completely fine.
Yeah.
And the other game I've been playing, not much though, is a game called Nilo. So I mentioned that game last week in the recommendations.
Yeah.
And how would I describe it? It's like both.
The best.
Go.
The best way I can describe it, if you've played Nier Automata this year, in a way, kind of reminds me of that.
You know, to a degree, I might agree with you. The thing is, I discovered that most of the combat actually happens from a top-down view in essentially 2D.
Okay.
It's just so much more easier to do the combat from the top-down view, because you see much more. You see behind yourself, and it's super fast-paced, like insanely, even on the easiest difficulty. Just like
same with Nier.
No, you know, I would say Nier is 2 degrees. No, not 2 degrees. 2 times slower. This one is just absurdly fast, but I think that's also because the game is obviously of dire need of a lot of work.
Yeah.
So if anybody doesn't know, the game is now in early access. Actually, if you open up the game, it's like version 0.1 something. So they are pretty early on into development. They got like most of the mechanics down, I think, but now they're really going for tweaking. And they need a lot of tweaks. My biggest problem actually was between each mission. Getting to the place is super confusing. It needs a better waypoint system that is more visible, and also the movement seems sort of floaty, if that makes sense. Like half the time it takes a 0.2 seconds longer to react than you expect.
Yeah.
and that makes it feel sort of awkward outside of combat. In combat, it does make sense because there's just shit happening all over the place, and you really don't have that much time to focus on the movement itself. You're just mainly aiming to kill shit.
Yeah.
But when you're outside of it, and the game is slightly slower, it is very noticeable. But otherwise, it does have a pretty interesting story based on what I played. It seems really pretty interesting. The graphics are decent. The music is also decent. It seems to have potential. That's what I'd say. Really potential. The question is whether it can fulfill it.
Yeah. Well, we'll see. It's still in the early access, so.
Yeah, I think I'm just going to leave it be for now, and maybe come to it when it's slightly more polished. By that I mean like close to done, maybe even after it's fully released.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good idea.
Okay, I don't really have any other games to talk about.
No, me either.
Then it's news time.
Yeah.
Would you do me a favor?
Yes.
Would you start, please, with the EA shit? Because...
well, I'm trying to think of where's a good place to start.
I think that just a general description where EA screwed up is probably the best place. This is where I'd start.
Oh. Yeah, EA, pretty much, they went back and, disabled microtransactions due to Battlefront 2 being, pay to win type model.
Then it got discovered that if you want to grind them, it takes more than 4,000 hours to do that.
Yep.
Or $2,000. And
yep.
Then there was a little bit of a community feedback, let's call it.
Yeah, the death threats that they had.
Those were actually found out to be fake.
Yeah, I know.
I was actually glad that it was found out because...
Yeah.
If people were actually sending death threats to developers for this shit, then these people should probably be put in some sort of institution.
Yeah, really. Shoot. Speaking of death threats, I remember, I think it was like back in 2016, when No Man's Sky got delayed, and people started sending death threats to Hello Games.
I think the game needed a little bit more of a delay.
Yeah, really.
But
yeah, I mean, like,
that's not what we're really talking about.
Yeah, I know. That's something that just popped in my head.
Yeah, but so after that happened, so first EA decided to reduce the amount of credits I think it's needed to earn the stuff in Battlefront 2.
Yep.
But sneakily, they also reduced the amount of credits gained.
Yep.
So it was a zero-sum game, so everything stayed the same, apart from numbers being smaller. Then something interesting happened. Maybe, we're not sure, but it seems that Disney stepped in.
Yep.
Slightly pissed at EA. And made them just take microtransactions from the game.
Yeah.
You know, I hear a lot of people like saying, yeah, it was Disney who made them do it. I'm not sure if it was. I would say they maybe had a role in it.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't say like it was just Disney saying, you take microtransaction out of it, or we're going to, I don't know, send Mickey Mouse at you. Though I understand the people who think this, especially with the new Star Wars movie right on the horizon.
Yeah.
But I'm just not sure it was completely that. Because if it was only that, I don't think all the other shit with the rest of the games would have happened. But we're going to talk about that a bit later. So what happened next was just a shitstorm that actually started with legislation. So a lot of people around the world, it started in Belgium, if I'm not mistaken. And
Belgium.
Yeah, the Belgium gambling authorities took a look at the loot boxes and said, yeah, these are pretty much gambling. And that began in pretty much a series of investigations all around the world. It was in Hawaii, it was in Sweden, it was in England. I'm not sure if the Gambling Commission of America was also involved, but I know there was an American politician criticizing the loot boxes.
Yeah.
He called them, what was it? Predatory or something like that?
Yeah, something like that, yeah.
Yeah, so he called them like predatory, and I tend to agree with him because loot boxes are essentially designed to trigger your brain in such a way that even if you don't win, you want to buy more.
Yeah.
And the fact that they are available to even small children, especially for things like Star Wars. You know, who is the primary target of Disney?
Kids.
Yes. And kids will want to see the new Star Wars movies, and they will want to play the new Star Wars games. And parents will likely buy them for them because these days parents also have the memories of watching Star Wars as kids, and they want their kids to share that memory. So, so it's like a perfect loop there. And the fact that the kid would be like, I want to play as Darth Vader. So the daddy will be, yeah, sure, just use my credit card if you want to play like Darth Vader.
Yeah. Bad idea.
Yeah, bad idea, because the kid will then have access to the credit card and he will spend shit tons of money on loot boxes because that's just the way they are designed.
Yep.
But you know what was probably the most interesting thing for me?
What's that?
Did you read the thing the analyst from Wall Street said?
Oh yeah, where they said publishers are not charging gamers enough.
You know, on one hand, he's not wrong.
Yeah, in a way, yeah, he isn't.
But I think the way he presented his argument was super dumb. Because he tied it to like the loot box thing. And it doesn't have to do anything with the loot boxes, really.
Yeah.
What he said is like the communities are overreacting over this thing because games overall are just super cheap.
Yeah.
And he's not wrong that games are super cheap. They are, if you think about it, because what was the cost of games 10 years ago? Exactly the same as today?
Yeah, I think around $50, $60.
Yeah, so pretty much the same as today.
Yeah, but also I want to add something else too. Like back like in the 1990s when cartridge gaming was still a big thing. I remember I think like there were a few games here and there for like N64 that cost up to like $70, $80 for a game.
Yeah, so that's one thing. Then you need so the prices of games, let's just call them, they stayed pretty much the same.
Yeah.
On the other hand, the prices of making games have skyrocketed over the years.
Yep.
It is much more expensive to make a game these days than it was 20 years ago.
Yeah.
On top of that, you have this thing called inflation.
Yep.
And on average, as far as I know, the inflation around the world is about 2% per year.
Yeah.
So if you calculate it, that means every roughly 8 years, everything gets about 20% more expensive. Well, theoretically.
Yeah.
And that means games should be getting every 8 years about 20% more expensive, and they just haven't been.
Yeah.
So, in a degree, I see where it's coming from, and I could agree if the gaming studios just came out and said, okay, so guys, the games are just now much more expensive to make, and the labor is more expensive. We're just going to have to charge you, instead of $60, $70 for your AAA titles. We're sorry we have to do this, but it's just a cost issue, and we cannot do much about it.
Yeah, but also in a way, I kind of see that that's one reason for season passes, you know. Like, sometimes those like cost like $20, $30, $40 even more than what the game costs.
Yep.
So
And the microtransactions and season passes and buying shit in games was the studio's solution to this issue.
yeah, sure.
Because selling a game for $60 just wasn't cutting it
Yeah,
anymore. But
yeah,
I would be probably more okay with them just saying, okay, so we're just going to charge everybody $10, $15 more.
yeah, yeah,
Then hiding it behind all of these structures that are so hard to decipher.
yeah, sure.
On the other hand, there's also one big thing that made games much cheaper, and that is digital distribution.
Yeah.
Because you don't have to pay. The physical media didn't cost anything when you consider it all together, because they made so many of them that cost of each was like $1. But transportation and paying people to put them into boxes and shipping and all these things, it probably added to a good $10 per game.
Yeah.
But that's no longer the case. And that's also the reason why Steam and other digital distribution services can sell games so cheaply.
Yeah. But like examples like the Nintendo eShop and the PS Store, like there are games on there that have been on there for like 2-3 years that still cost $60.
Oh, that's probably games that actually haven't made enough money. So
yeah, possibly.
So they have to sell them for this amount to even have a chance of recovering in the future. Because a lot of people think so. If a game costs $5 million to make, and it costs $50, then you just need to sell 1 million copies and you're golden, right?
Yeah.
That's not really true. Because for one thing, you want to make some profit.
Yeah.
But on top of that, you need more money to fund the development of the next game.
Yep. True.
And people tend to forget that. They assume, so yeah, they just made this game and they made money. Not really. Most businesses just spend the money they make into improving their business so they can make even more money to improve their business even more. That's how most businesses work. I'm not saying all of them do it, but most do.
Yeah, and also on the topic of games becoming more expensive to make, I know we talked about this a few months back, but have you played Hellblade yet?
I haven't, and I don't think I will at this point.
Okay. Well, see, like if you've seen videos of that game, like it's an indie, like it's developed by 13 people, but the quality of the game's like up there in like AAA quality.
Yeah, it's a AA game.
Yeah, and they did that on a budget. So hopefully that game did good enough to where more developers will follow in their footsteps. They don't make a game on a budget,
For me, the example of a AA title that was just done well was Styx: The Shard of Darkness.
Ah, yeah. It
was exactly the same case. Very well done, but the thing that you can see is these games tend to be shorter.
Yeah.
These games tend to be, instead of 40 hours of gameplay, they tend to be 8 to 10 hours of gameplay.
Yeah.
And that's where they make their savings. And on top of that, considering Star Wars, can you imagine the fee EA had to pay to Disney for being able to use that brand?
Yeah, true.
So that's probably 100 million just... Same for games like, let's say, Need for Speed. You have to pay each car manufacturer for just being able to use their brand.
Yeah.
World War II is probably one of the few cases where you don't have to do shit because everything is public right now.
True.
Okay, hopefully I think that's pretty much it about the EA. Let's just each end with a statement. I'm going to start with mine. It's like, EA, learn, stop being dumbasses.
Yeah. Yeah.
Seriously. Do you want to relate the message to EA?
Yes, stop. Become better of what you used to be, and stop being what you are now.
Though I don't think they will listen. I think like
No.
let's wait half a year and we will have a new EA controversy on our hands.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's enough about Battlefront. But since we're on the topic of EA, let's talk more EA. Yay! Let's talk Need for Speed Payback. So did you see the loot box system in Payback?
Yes, I did.
It's literally a slot machine. What the fuck? After all this backlash they got from the community, they actually changed the loot boxes in Payback. Not by a much, mind you, but at least something.
Yeah.
They made like you get more reputation for playing the game, you get more money for playing the game. That's pretty much what they did. They just gave you more of everything, making the progression faster, and that's good.
Yep.
But seriously, it's slot machines. Do you know why casinos have slot machines in the entry room?
So that people would go over there and spend their money.
No, obviously, but why slot machines and not some other game?
Well, from what I heard, like this is my grandfather told me a few months back. Like, if you go into a casino and you see slot machines right in the front and you see ones in the back, it is always best to go for the ones in the front because you have a higher chance of winning and a higher chance of spending your money.
Yeah, that's a fact. Those are actually configured to have a slightly higher chance of winning because they want the people who come in to win. But slot machines are there because they are the most freaking addictive.
Yeah.
So they like give you that sense of humans are really dumb. We don't like to hear that, but humans are just designed or evolved, whatever way you want to call it, in a really
or
dumb
devolved.
Because the chance of getting something just triggers a dopamine reaction in our brain that makes us want more. And you don't have to get anything, but just having the chance of getting something triggers this. And the slot machine is the easiest way to do this because it instantly triggers that reaction.
Yeah.
Here in Czech Republic, you can sometimes, not often these days, but especially when I was younger, I remembering there being slot machines in pubs, and there was always someone there on the slot machine sitting there, and it was usually the same person every single time, and you could just see him being addicted, and him throwing thousands of crowns, that's our currency, into it.
Yeah.
And it was sort of sad. But, man, like, slot machines are the worst, and having them in a game is just absurd.
Yeah.
Okay, let's move on to another game that, like, was a bit scared of the whole shitstorm of Battlefront 2, so Call of Duty World War II. They also halted their microtransactions. Well, not completely, but they halted the part that was pay to win.
Yeah.
Again, good, but why the fuck do you have that system in any way?
Yeah, really.
Haven't you learned anything over the years? People really hate pay to win systems.
Yeah.
There's only one platform where they even work, and that's mobile.
Yes.
Because no serious gamer plays on a mobile.
Yeah.
Though
and not to mention,
I will admit, I have spent some money on my mobile over the years.
Yeah. Yeah, not to mention, most games that have that kind of model in place are free to play, so.
At the very least, yes. So I for example, have spent like, I think, $100 on Clash Royale over the duration of year and a half, I think, when I was playing it.
Hmm.
It was way too much, I know. But you know what? At least that game was enjoyable. It was literally the only game I played on my mobile phone. On one hand, when I introduced the game to my girlfriend, I was sort of scared she might spend money as well, but I also know she's sort of a Scrooge. So, luckily she hasn't spent anything, and she's still playing it.
Huh.
She's like, because her English isn't so good, she like says, so there's a new patch, could you translate the patch notes for me, please? But yeah, so that's... But Call of Duty, and the last game that sort of got scared, I think, of all the backlash. But this one is actually not loot boxes. Thank God. It's Destiny 2. So I obviously haven't played much of Destiny 2, not only for a reason that it's a primary console game. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and also, I've only played like a few hours of it, so...
But the system they have in... for like progression once you hit max level. So a person on Reddit, I don't remember his name, I had it here yesterday in the news, but maybe I can find it. So it was a Redditor. Can I find it? No, I can't. But he had like a cool name, is what I remember. So he found out that the more you play certain events, the less experience they give you.
Huh.
And it was especially in terms of events that are easily chainable and can be done pretty quickly. It was mainly done for the public events. And so the Destiny 2 developers, they came out with a message and said, so we're scrapping this system because we decided it doesn't work for us. I think they didn't decide that. They were just like, oh, fuck, everybody's screwed, is really pissed right now. Let's not make them pissed on us even more. So that's why they scrapped it.
Yeah.
There will also be a Q&A on the 28th. So we're going to talk about that pretty certainly next week with a developer named, what's his name? Something Smith? Something Smith, I don't remember his first name. Luke Smith. So he's the director of the development of Destiny 2. He's going to have a Q&A. And I wonder if they know how big of a deal this Q&A is going to be. Because the community is like, okay, so we'll see what they actually want for the future of Destiny. And I think a lot of people who won't be satisfied with this Q&A's results will leave the game. Okay, that's it for the controversies this week.
Yay.
Fucking yay. Let's talk about the positive this week. We got two very nice positives this week. We got the Game Awards and the Steam Awards. Let's talk about the Game Awards first.
Yes.
So, we got Game of the Year. We got 5 games that are nominated. Legend of Zelda, Super Mario Odyssey, PUBG, Persona 5, and Horizon Zero Dawn.
The only game I have not played yet is PUBG, so...
And what would you give the reward to? Because I played only PUBG on the other hand.
Oh, man. That's really a tough decision right there.
You know, I think this award is this time a bit unfair because a lot of the games are locked to one system.
Yeah, really.
And it's not really fair because how can you vote, for example, for either The Legend of Zelda or Super Mario Odyssey if you don't own a Switch?
Yeah, really.
How can you vote for Horizon Zero Dawn if you're an Xbox player?
Yeah, or Persona 5.
Yeah, and on the other hand, PUBG isn't on the PlayStation, right? And
yeah, it's not.
And it's coming to the Xbox. So there's only one PC game here. So pretty obviously, I'm going to vote for the PC game because it's the only game I played from these. And
oh man.
I just don't think they're. Well, on one hand, their choices are good. They are good games.
Yes. I can attest to that. They're all great games.
But
Right there.
I don't know. It just seems like they should have like PC awards, PlayStation awards, Xbox awards, Switch awards.
Like the PlayStation Game of the Year or the Switch Game of the Year. You know?
Yeah, because right now it's just like half the people can't really vote for shit they haven't played.
Yeah, really. I mean, shoot. like if I didn't get a Switch this year, for on the Sony side of things, I would give that to Persona 5 hands down.
Okay.
But
as I said, I will give it to PUBG, though.
But
I think Zelda is up there from what I heard.
But also on the Switch side, like I enjoyed Zelda. But I would have to say I enjoyed Mario Odyssey a little bit more, so I would give Mario Odyssey that.
I think Zelda had a problem of having to come straight out with a system.
Yeah.
Like, people are already over Zelda.
Yeah.
Okay, the second category is Best Game Direction. And this time we got Wolfenstein 2, Resident Evil 7, Zelda, Mario Odyssey, and Horizon.
Ooh.
Same problem. It's, again, just make each system its own category also.
Yeah. For that, I'd have to get to Horizon Zero Dawn.
Yeah. Here, I think I would probably go with it as well, because it just seems amazing. Like, the designs.
Yes. Robot dinosaurs.
Yeah, who doesn't love robot dinosaurs? Like, Wolfenstein 2 is a great game. No doubt that, but it doesn't do that much new, to be honest.
Yeah.
Especially compared to the Wolfenstein 1.
Yeah.
Okay, then we have Best Narrative. What Remains of Edith Finch, Nier Automata, Hellblade, Wolfenstein, and Horizon.
Ooh, golly.
So, even though I haven't played Hellblade, I have watched a full playthrough of it. I will go with Hellblade here.
Yeah, I would say I would either go with Hellblade or What Remains of Edith Finch.
Yeah, I haven't seen that one yet, so yeah, I'm not sure, but I heard good things about it. But I really enjoyed watching Hellblade, and it tackles an issue that hasn't been tackled in games that much. Usually the crazy guy is just the baddie.
Yeah.
Okay, then we have Best Art Direction. Destiny 2, Cuphead, Legend of Zelda, Persona 5, and Horizon Zero Dawn. I don't understand why Destiny 2 is here.
Yeah, really. There, I would have to give it to either Cuphead or Persona 5.
From these, I will vote for Cuphead, but if I could add a game, I would go with Pyre.
Yeah.
I enjoy the graphics of Pyre slightly above Cuphead. Cuphead is really awesome and amazingly done.
Yeah.
But it's also not so original.
Yeah. The thing I like about Persona is... The thing I like about Persona is, like just about everything in it has its own type of art, like the menus, the dungeons, and all that. There's all kinds of different kinds of art in the game.
I just don't like anime, so...
Well, I do.
Nah, no judging there. Okay, then we have Best Score and Music. We have Destiny 2, Cuphead, Nier, Legend of Zelda, Super Mario Odyssey, and Persona 5.
Persona 5.
This time I would go with Cuphead from the choices. Again, I would choose Pyre if I could. And seriously, again, why the fuck is Destiny 2 here? And we have audio design. This is more about the sounds in-game rather than the music. Destiny 2, Hellblade, Resident Evil, Legend of Zelda, and Mario.
Ooh. I would go with Hellblade.
Yeah, me too. Though, what was the game with you played it? The one where you saw with sound.
Oh, Perception.
That's the one I haven't played it, but I would love to hear somebody's opinion on whether you think it's better than Hellblades when it comes to the sound design and not music.
Okay, yeah, sound design. I'll have to go with Hellblade.
Okay.
Because one of the things I love is like, especially like headphones on, and you like hear the voices in her head. Actually, it feels like you're actually hearing the voices in your head.
Okay, that's good. Then there's best performance. This is for voice acting, and usually I don't care about that much. But we have Melina Jurgens from Hellblade as Senua, Laura Bailey from Uncharted: The Lost Legacy as Nadine Ross, Claudia Black from Uncharted as Chloe Fraser, Brian Bloom from Wolfenstein 2 as BJ Blazkowicz, and Ashley Birch from Horizon Zero Dawn as Aloy. I can't say that much about this. I haven't played most of these games, and it's hard to and none of them really made that big of an impact on me. And again, if I could give it to the narrator from Pyre.
Yeah, true. But yeah, I'd have to go with the one that played as Senua from Senua's Sacrifice, considering this is actually her first ever acting role. So,
that's nice. Okay, then we have a Games for Impact for a thought-provoking game with profound pro-social meaning or message. I think pretty obviously it's going to be Hellblade again, but we got Please Knock on My Door, A Night in the Woods. That's a pretty interesting game. Life is Strange Before the Storm, Bury Me My Love, and What Remains of Edith Finch and Hellblade.
Yeah, I'll either get it to Hellblade or What Remains of Edith Finch.
I wouldn't give the second place to Edith Finch. I would give it to Night in the Woods. If you haven't played that one, try it.
Yeah.
It's pretty interesting.
I've played it. Yeah. I would agree.
We have Best Ongoing Game. So something that's been in the market for a while. Warframe, Rainbow Six Siege, Overwatch, Grand Theft Auto Online, Destiny 2, and PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds.
Ooh.
From these, I would have to go with Warframe.
Yeah, Warframe, yep.
But I wish Rocket League was here. But that might be my personal bias. But I'm very surprised it's not here.
Yeah, really.
And then we have Best Mobile Game. This one will be hard. So we have Fire Emblem Heroes, Super Mario Run, Old Man's Journey, Monument Valley 2, and Hidden Fox. From these, I've played only Super Mario Run and Monument Valley. And Super Mario Run is super bad if you don't pay.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go with Monument Valley. Though right now, when I'm looking at the image, Old Man's Journey looks interesting. I might download that just to see what it's like.
Yep, I've heard about that game, and I think that might be it right there. Yeah. That might win, so...
And we have Best Handheld Game. This is probably DS games. Poochie and Yoshi's Woolly World, Monster Hunter Stories, Metroid Samus Returns, Ever Oasis, Fire Emblem Echoes. I have no fucking idea.
Yeah, I would have to just say, even though I haven't played it, I would say maybe the Metroid game would win.
Seriously, no idea for me. We have Best VR AR Game. Super Hot VR, Star Trek Bridge Crew, Lone Echo Arena, Farpoint, and Resident Evil Biohazard.
Ooh.
I personally am going to go completely biased for Star Trek Bridge Crew because fucking I love Star Trek.
Yeah, true. I would say I would give it to Resident Evil 7, considering that's actually a full-fledged VR game.
That's a good choice. Bridge Crew is also, but I just really want to be on a bridge of a starship one day, and this is probably the only way this will ever happen in my life.
Yeah, true. By the time it does happen, we'll be dead and gone.
About for a few hundred years. Okay, then we have Best Action Game. So we have Prey, Neo, Destiny 2, Cuphead, and Wolfenstein 2. I'm gonna go with Prey here. I just enjoyed it so much.
I have to go with Neo.
Okay. I'm just not sure right now. There are probably a few more games I would love to see here, but they just aren't here.
Yeah.
Okay, we have action/adventure game. This is probably more about storytelling. So you have Uncharted, Assassin's Creed Origins, Zelda, Odyssey, and Horizon.
Ooh. I'd have to go with Horizon on that.
Yeah, from these, I'm probably gonna agree with you. Then we have role-playing game. South Park, Final Fantasy, Divinity, Nier, and Persona. I personally gonna go with South Park. I just love its humor, and even though the game, in terms of humor, wasn't as good as the previous one,
yeah.
in terms of its mechanics, it was heaps better.
I'd have to either go with Nier or Persona 5.
Okay. Next category is Best Fighting Game. Tekken, Nidhogg, Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite, Injustice, and ARMS. I have no idea. I don't like fighters.
I'll say Injustice 2.
Okay. Next up is a family game. Splatoon 2, Sonic Mania, Mario and Rabbids Kingdom Battle, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, and Odyssey.
Ooh. I'd say Odyssey on that.
I would say Mario Kart 8, just because I think it has a bit more longevity than Odyssey.
True.
So if you're looking for a game for a family that you can play for years to come, Mario Kart is always a good choice.
Yeah, true.
We have a best strategy game. So we got XCOM 2, Tooth and Tail, Total War, Warhammer 2, Halo Wars 2 for some reason, and Mario and Rabbids Kingdom Battle.
Ooh.
From these, I'm gonna go with Tooth and Tail. It was just that good in my opinion.
I'd just say I'd either have to go with XCOM 2 or Mario plus Rabbids, considering those are the only two I played.
I really don't understand why Halo Wars are here. It's the only strategy on console, I understand that, but it's really bad. Real-time strategy. It's not a good real-time strategy. Okay, sports and racing games. Project Cars 2, Pro Evo Soccer 218, NBA 2K18, GT Sport, Forza, and FIFA 18. I don't play sports games.
Yeah, I don't either.
And racing games this year didn't really interest me. Also, why the fuck is Empire here? It's a sports game. And it was great.
Yeah, really.
These guys just seem to have a bias against Pyre.
Yeah, really.
Okay, best multiplayer. Yeah, Fortnite, COD World War II, Splatoon 2, Mario Kart 8, Destiny, and PUBG. This one's hard. For me, it's between Fortnite and PUBG.
Yeah, I want to go for Fortnite since I played that.
I've played more of Fortnite than PUBG, but to be honest, I think PUBG is slightly better, but also slightly worse. PUBG is more serious compared to Fortnite.
Yeah.
So depending on what you actually want. Okay, and then we have games that were released after December 7th. So most anticipated game, Last of Us Part 2, Red Dead Redemption 3, Monster Hunter World, Marvel Superman, and God of War.
I'd say I would go with Last of Us Part 2.
I will probably go with Red Dead Redemption.
Yeah.
Then we have Best Indie Game. Finally, Pyre, Night in the Woods, Cuphead, What Remains of Edith Finch, and Hellblade. I'm gonna go with Pyre just because of fuck you guys. It should have been
seriously.
like 16 categories before. This is literally.
Yeah, for me, it would either be Pyre or Hellblade.
I would say Pyre is for me. It's like 11, Cuphead is like 10, and Hellblade is like 9.
Mm.
Okay, we have best student game, so something made by a student. Oh man, I haven't heard like any of these. So we have A Meaning, Level Squared, Impulsion, Falling Sky, Hollowed, and From Light. Have you heard about any of these games?
No, I have not.
Okay, then let's skip these.
Yes.
Then let's vote for our favorite gamer, either a streamer, influencer, or a member of the media. Man, I don't know any of these again. So I have Steven Spawn from Able Gamers.
Nope, don't know him.
Mike Greshek from Shroud. He's a pro gamer, obviously.
No, heard of him.
Guy Beam as Dr. Disrespect.
Nope, haven't heard of him.
Clint Lexa as Health Coordinated.
Nope.
And Andrea Reen. What's Good Games?
Nope, I have not heard of any of them.
Yeah, sorry. Best esports game. Hey, Rocket League.
Yay.
League of Legends, Dota 2, Counter-Strike Global Offensive, and Overwatch.
I'll say go with Rocket League.
Yeah, me too, and not because this is the game I play, but it's the only game from these that isn't a MOBA or a shooter.
Yeah, and not to mention, like in Rocket League, it actually requires skill from the player to actually get the ball into the goal.
Yeah, it's literally the main reason I love Rocket League so much is because it's a game I can show to my parents and they will understand what the fuck is going on.
Yeah, really.
Like, they will be like, why the fuck are there cars playing football? But they will still understand the rules.
Yeah.
Like, even though, like, my father might understand the rules of a shooter, especially if it's just elimination until all people are dead. But if I show my father a MOBA, he will be like, no, I have no idea what's going on. But Rocket League is so easy. It's just like, yeah, you have this ball, and you have goals, and you want to get the ball into the goal. That's all you need to explain.
Yeah, and really, if you don't have the game with you, and you're trying to explain Rocket League, just say,
here's the
it's just
controller.
soccer, it's just football with RC cars.
Yeah. Okay, then we have best esports player. No idea who any of these are.
Yeah, but I don't either.
And best esports team, I actually know 2 of them. I know Team Liquid. And I know SK Telecom Pro Game Team, but I don't know Lunatic High, nor Face Clan, or Cloud9.
I know SK Telecom, so...
Yeah, and Team Liquid is also pretty big. Okay, then we have Best Debut Indie Game. We're reaching the end slowly. So we have a Slime Rancher, Mr. Shifty, Hollow Knight, Golf Story, and Cuphead.
I would either get that to Cuphead or Mr. Shifty.
I'm gonna go with Hollow Knight. I spent way too much time in that game, even after I was done with the review. It was just... The combat is super impressive in that, if you haven't tried it. Okay, and now we got Best Chinese Game. Why is this award here? I don't know. So we have Monument Valley 2, JX3 HD, Gumballs, Icy, and King of Glory.
The only one I know is Monument Valley 2.
I know Icy, and it was good, but I don't know the rest of them. So I'm going to go... And Monument Valley is really good, so I'm going to go with that as well. And that's it for the Game Awards. Let's now go do something more fun. Let's go to the Steam Awards.
Yep.
So I talked about these yesterday already, so I won't be talking about much. I will give the categories to you. Read the description of the category, and you will tell me what game you would fit there. It doesn't necessarily have to be a game from this year, by the way.
Okay.
So we have... First is The World is Grim Enough, Let's Just All Get Along award. So, I will read your description now. Games delight and entertain us, giving us much needed breaks from the sorrows and low points of our lives. And let's be honest, for a lot of people, it's been a rough 12-17. That's why the Steam Awards has chosen to celebrate a game that doesn't involve combat or conflict.
Ooh. You know what? Since it don't have to be a game from this year, I'll have to go with Undertale for that.
Okay. Interesting choice. I personally have chosen Rocket League for this one. So now we have the Choice Matters Award. Games are about agency, and this award is for the game that has it in spades. Maybe it's because there are 31 ways you can breach into a villain's lair. Perhaps there are dozens of potential partners for you to build a romantic future with. Or maybe you find yourself constantly saying, where should I plant those turnips? In all three scenarios, there's one common bond. The choice is always yours.
Huh. Ooh. I'll just say The Witcher 3 for that.
Okay, that's a fair choice.
Yeah.
I personally had, I tried to stick mainly with games from 12-17.
Yeah.
And since I imposed that limitation myself, I chose Six Shard of Darkness. For the amount of ways you can get into situations.
Yeah.
Okay, the third category here is the It Haunts My Dreams award. This award is slightly a misnomer because this game doesn't just haunt your dreams, it consumes your thoughts every waking moment of the day. This game doesn't demand your time, you give it willingly.
It's a tough choice right there. I'll have to go with the Evil Within, since I recently played that last month.
So I went with Cuphead here. Because when I played it, I was like, how the fuck do I beat that thing, even when I wasn't playing the game? Okay, next up, you will love this one. This is the Mom Spaghetti Award. There are games that make you excited. There are games that make you happy. Then there are games so intense that they elicit a physical reaction. We're talking weak knees. We're talking sweaty palms. We're talking fear-induced accidents. We're talking your friends reminding you to breathe. We're talking about Mom Spaghetti.
So pretty much any game that's difficult.
No, it's not about them being difficult. It's about you really being, into it.
Oh, yeah. Ooh. Dang. That's a tough choice right there.
Yeah, this one was really hard for me as well.
I would say, even though it's not a PC game, I'll go with Mario Odyssey.
Okay, for me it was Star Trek Bridge Crew, actually. It's like just the thought of being there on the bridge. It's like, oh.
Yeah.
I know.
But the reason why I chose Mario Odyssey is because, when that game came out, literally came out the day, a few hours after my grandfather's funeral, and that game just literally made me smile.
Oh, that's way too much emotional than I assumed.
Oh, but that game really just made me smile, and I freaking beat it in 2 days. That's how into it I was.
Okay, next one is the No Apologies Award. This award is for the game that you love unconditionally. Does it have some faults? Maybe. Do other people not understand your love for it? Sure, but make no mistake, there is no guilt here, only pleasure.
I would say I would give that to Persona 5.
I went with Cuphead. Even though the game is super hard and just makes you want to crush stuff around you, it's awesome.
Yeah, and also, going back to that Mom Spaghetti one, I would also give that to Persona 5 as well, because I just remembered, I literally, like, when that game came out, that was my most anticipated game of the year, and I literally, for like a week and a half, I spent 12 hours a day trying to get through the main story. That's how into it I was. But yeah, Persona 5 for that reward too.
Okay, now we have the Cry Havoc and Let's Slip the Dogs of War award. The board said it best. This game doesn't necessarily offer the biggest explosion. It offers something better. Potential. Potential to be a rampaging force of nature. Or not. Who knows? You're an agent of chaos and no one is going to tell you what to do.
I'll have to say, I would go with Breath of the Wild for that.
Interesting. So, I went with Hand of Fate 2 because of the way, like, the combat isn't like that amazing, but the fact that you can choose so many things was so amazing. If I didn't go with just 217 games, I would go with The Witcher.
Yeah. The reason why I would go with Breath of the Wild is because, like, as soon as you get out of the Shrine of Resurrection, like, you can go and follow the main story, or you can just go do whatever the heck you want. Even if you wanted to, you can actually go to the final boss as soon as you get out into the Great Plateau.
Yeah, and get your ass kicked.
Yep.
Okay, next one is the Suspension of Disbelief award. Let's be honest. Games can have some pretty ridiculous elements in them, from the stories that drive the action, to the items required to conquer obstacles, to even the protagonists themselves. This award is for the game that has a key component which, when described out of context, seems totally insane, but while playing the game, doesn't even make you bat an eye, because in the moment it makes total sense.
That, I'll have to go with Nier Automata.
I went with Pyre. Because I remember, like, I had my girlfriend here, and she was like, so what are you playing? I was like, so imagine you're a gypsy in a fantasy Fallout world playing basketball? And I remember her face just being like, what the fuck? Like, you've started smoking weed again. I was like, no, I haven't. It's just what this game is about. Yeah. Why would you give it to Nier?
Well, because like they feel like trying to explain what Nier is. It's like so many, like, it has so many different components in it that's hard to explain, but when you play it, you don't even think about it.
Okay. Next one is the Soul of a Vitruvius award. The Vitruvian Man was Leonardo's celebration of the ideal form, and in that spirit, the Steam Awards look to celebrate the game with the most lovingly rendered character, be it human, alien, anthropomorphic cat people, or even a piece of produce. So the game with the most amazing character, in your opinion. Or characters. It doesn't have to be like the player character.
Yeah. That. I would say I would go with the characters of Persona 5. Because by the end, because by the end you get so attached. Like, oh, I don't want the game to be over.
Okay, I went with Hollow Knight here. I just loved everything how it looked in the game. It was like gothic, yet beautiful at the same time. Like, no, that's not the right word. It was like, gothic, like a gothic cathedral, but cute at the same time. And I just fell in love with that. You will love the description of this award. It's called the Defies Description Award. Okay, so now the description, yeah?
Yeah.
This game is like, well, actually it's more similar to, picture a combination of, you know what? I can't describe it. Just play
it. I'll have to go with Nier for that.
I went with Pyre for obvious reasons.
Yeah.
Okay, now we have the Labor of Love Award. This game has been out for a while. The team is well past the first unveiling of its creative baby, but being the good parents they are, the devs continue to nurture and support their creation. This game to this day is still getting new content after all these years.
Ooh.
So here I actually went outside of 2017.
I would say, I would even though it's still in beta, I'd have to go with Warframe on that.
That was my second choice, but I went with Rocket League.
Yeah, I figured.
But yeah, Warframe was my second choice, and my third choice was actually World of Warcraft. But that one wouldn't like be an option because it's not on Steam.
Yeah.
You can only put games that are on Steam, obviously, as nominees.
Yeah.
Okay, and now there are two categories that I actually skipped. So the first one is the Whoa Dude 2.0 award. The Academy wasn't clear enough in the award's description last year. Let's try this again. This award is for the fear and loathing in Las Vegas of video games. So it's like about a game that's just, first people think it's bad, but in the end they discover it's good.
Ooh.
And since I was trying to limit myself to 2017, I couldn't really find such a game.
Bad, but then became good. I'm trying to think of any games that fit that description.
You know what's also the problem with this is the fact that games that are bad at the start don't usually live long enough to become good.
Yeah. I would have to go. Yeah, that's a tough decision right there.
Yeah, I just skipped it. I was just like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Okay, then let's skip it as well. And the last category, or technically last, there's one more special one. So this one is the Even Better Than I Expected award. We all been there. You get super excited for a game, you pre-order it, and you anxiously wait as it downloads. And then you finally play it. How do you feel now? If the answer is elated beyond words, because even I, a conductor about the hype train, was blown away with how good this thing was, then you found a perfect candidate for this award. So a game that exceeded the hype.
I would just say Persona 5 for that, because I was hyped for that game for like 3 years, and dang, like 2 hours before, like I had the thing preloaded like a few days prior to release, and 2 hours before the game came out, or it's supposed to unlock, those were the most painstakingly hours ever, and then when I finally played, I was like, whoa, yes.
That's nice that you have a game here, because I have purposefully, for the past about 10 years, just was like, fuck hype. I'm not going to go aboard the hype train. If it's good, it's good. If it's bad, it's bad.
Really.
And I wish more people were like this, but I understand that's just not the human nature.
Yeah, for the most part I am, but Persona 5, like I played Persona 4 Golden back in 2013, 2014, and I was blown away by that. And when they announced Persona 5, I was like, yes, give me more.
Okay, the last award, the Right Then Award. You are a member of the Steam Award Selection Committee, and your voice needs to be heard. What additional category needs to be added for the 12/17 Steam Awards? Best use of a lighthouse? Best game to play while listening to the Hamilton soundtrack? Their only limit is your imagination and a vague sense of decency. So create your own category.
Dang.
You're not really nominating a game, you're nominating a category.
Yeah.
And let me just quickly, you know what's currently the most popular category?
What's that?
So, as far as I understand, the most popular one is the best Battlefront 2. And the old Battlefront 2 is the most nominated game for that category. Gamers are such trolls, man.
Uh, I have to say, I think one thing I've top of my head is I want to play more category.
I want to play more. That's a good category.
Yes.
And what game would you nominate for that?
Even though it's not on Steam, and even though they released the expansion for it a few weeks back, I'd say I'd have to go with Horizon Zero Dawn for that.
Okay.
Because the reason why is because I enjoyed the main story, and at the time they didn't have any planned DLC. I was like, dang, I want to play more. But I've already done like everything, so I was like, when they announced the first one, I was like, yes, give me more.
Oh, that's nice to hear, man. That's actually very nice to hear.
Yes.
Okay, and that's pretty much it for the Steam Awards.
Yeah.
You have to agree with me on one thing. The Steam Awards are much more fun.
Yeah, I would have to agree.
Like, yeah, the Game Awards, I almost feel like they are dumb at this point.
Yeah.
Like, the categories, yeah. Obviously, there should be a category for best art direction, let's say, best music, best direction in general. But, first of all, most of them don't seem to include indie games. They're heavily biased towards AAA titles. And I don't like that. And the fact that they're mushing together games from PC, from PlayStation, Xbox, and the Switch makes it really hard.
Yeah. Well, hey, I'll say this then. Since the gaming trail has become a lot bigger in the past year, why don't we have like our own reward thing just for the heck of it?
You know, but
for the end of the
let's actually wait for the new year. Maybe something good will come, and let's actually figure out some decent categories. I think we should go with a little bit more of the Steam Awards.
Yeah, true.
Just like, let's have fun with it instead of trying to be all serious.
Yeah.
And I'll design some nice awards in Photoshop so we can give shit up.
Yeah. Awesome.
Okay, that's it for the news of this week. I'm pretty glad we had fun with the rest because the start was dreadful.
Yep, sure was.
Do you have any recommendations for the games of the next week?
Well, there ain't that many games coming out, so I'll go with I'll recommend Xenoblade Chronicles 2 for the Switch if you have a Switch.
Yeah, there's a pretty easy reason why there aren't many games coming out.
Yep.
The Steam Autumn Sale is currently ongoing until Tuesday, if I'm not mistaken. Let me quickly make sure I'm not spewing bullshit. Yeah, it's until Tuesday. And there are about 7,000 games on sale right now on Steam.
Yep, same with the PS Store. They have a Black Friday sale going on until this Tuesday as well.
Yeah, and
so
there are some insane deals. So, like, for example...
Yes, I would agree.
The games I already recommended. The Witcher 3 is for $15 available. Rocket League is for $10. The new Wolfenstein, the new one that came like a month ago, is for $30.
Yeah.
Doom is for $15. H1Z1 is out for $5. It's just something for everyone.
Yeah, and some of those deals that you see on Steam, they're also on the PS Store as well. So.
Yeah. So, go and buy games if you have the money.
Yep. You'll save a lot.
For recommendations, I'm going to do some more recommendations of sales tomorrow. Like, I'm going every day through the Steam store and trying to pick 5 games, each at a different price point, and recommending those. Usually it's like $30, $15, $10, $5, and anything cheaper. For example,
Okay.
yeah, I recommended Portal 2 for $2.
Oh wow.
It's like it's the price of a hamburger.
Yeah, really. You can't go wrong with Portal 2.
Yeah. And the only game I really want to recommend for next week is called Prehistoric 2. It's the second installment in the Prehistoric series I've already talked about. It was like 3 weeks ago? Something like that, right?
Yeah, something like that.
It's a game actually from 1993. It's just being released for the modern systems. And if you like a little bit of nostalgia, that's a good choice.
Yeah.
Okay, I think that's probably it for today, right?
Yep, sure is.
You want to commence the shilling?
Yep. You can find me on YouTube as TygerGamer. You can find me on Steam at TygerGamer.
And you can find me on YouTube as Kralizec Gaming and on Steam as Kralizec. You can find our links also in the description of the video.
Yes.
So if you liked the video, be sure to give us a thumbs up. Be sure to subscribe to the channel. If you're watching this on Steam, be sure to give us an upvote and follow our blog.
Yes.
Follow our personal blogs as well. And with that being said, see you guys later with more gaming content.
Yeah, have a good one.